Jamal's a jerk. Like he had this good woman in his life. Of course, he should, now that she's ready, why is he not ready to settle down? And now that she's ready. And what I was trying to explain to my wife is when you, especially if you're a man who did not have early success, whether that was in looks or with women or with whatever it may be, you carry that heartbreak, that burden, or if nothing else, that memory. I remember getting rejected, and fairly or unfairly, I remember the women that rejected me looked like me, or they looked like this. Or these were the type of women, even if they didn't reject me, that didn't accept me at that time. And now that I have these things, and now you start to move into this level where all women are interested in you because you have the attributes that you talk about. Yep. Now, I'm not speaking on behalf of all women, but I'll list these attributes. He's over 6 foot tall now. Yeah, exactly.
Everyone.
If they're gonna cancel me, don't have to catch that clip where I got my disclaimer in. I've been around the circle, I've been around the block a few times. And so I just list the attributes, and you tell me if this would be attractive to a woman if you were a woman listening who's single. He's over 6 feet tall. He's got his bag right. He's packing where he needs to be packing. You can just decipher from that. Maybe he's a passport bro. Maybe he's, whatever. You can decipher from that metaphor whatever you want. And tall, dark, and handsome. Tall, light, and handsome. Whatever you may be into. But he's got those attributes. Do you think you would be the only woman drawn to that? Now, two differentiations there may be, maybe he's always been that way. Not like the case with Jamal and Keisha. I think it's actually more, I use problematic. I really don't think it's problematic because I agree with you. It's a lived experience where now we are crossing timelines, but we have different goals. We got different finish lines. And when I wanted to run with you, you weren't around. Now you're ready to host up the trophy. And I feel like everybody wants to show up to host the trophy, to throw the party, to be in the parade. Like there hasn't been enough around in the race, putting in the work. Help me put up those benches, shoot me with you in the gym, as Kobe would say. So I think that's a bow for this conversation because I'm going to pivot a little bit, and I'm going to actually, who I probably lost a bunch of them, I try to bring the women back. Hopefully, maybe this is a whole new video. So we've also got on the other side passport women.
Yep.
And somewhat related to that, I've got my clips.
As a middle-aged woman, I get on social media sometimes to kind of give like my viewpoints and things I wish I had known 10, 15 years ago as a woman. But sometimes I have questions of my own. One of them is, what is the point of a girls trip? I honestly do not understand it. Now, I know I'm a loner. I'm an introvert. I get that. I don't even have any friends. But if I did, I still don't think I want to go on a trip with them. I like to be taken care of. I like stuff to be paid for me. I got heels on, hold my hand, make sure I don't fall, open the door for me, pay for it for me, find me a chair while you go find us a table, whatever the case may be. Like, y'all want to be passenger princesses, but you want to go out with all queens. How can I be a queen and be taken care of like a queen if I'm out with only other women? I need my man on my vacation. I thought part of the reason or the benefit of a vacation is to engage in certain adult activities in a new locale, if you get what I'm saying. I can't do that on no girls trip. So somebody please help me understand, because girls trips were not a thing back in the day. I'm 46. My mama ain't never went on no girls trip. It just wasn't a thing. So maybe I'm missing something. So younger women, can y'all chime in for me, please? I'm confused.
And that also reminds me, and while we're talking about the Passport Sisters, that there are a couple of, this is not a male-only dynamic. You have girls trips, and that's also a hot topic on the, in Twitter and on Instagram and in Instagram circles as well, where there was a woman that just went viral recently. I think she was like in her mid-40s, and she was talking about she doesn't see a point in girls trips and everything, and she also mentioned that she doesn't have any girlfriends, so I'm sure that was a contributing factor. However, girls trips are also a lot of the rage. Those are happening. They're very prevalent as well beyond bachelorette parties and whatnot. However, girls go on trips and they live their life as well. As someone who's been on an independent trip or trips with my boys, and then we run into a girls trip or run into a bachelorette party as well, and they trying to have a good time also. I think you also have, while passport bros are flooding Eastern Asian countries and Colombia and DR and Brazil, you also have the passport sisters who are going in droves to Jamaica and are having a great time down there, riding on the rafts, getting the rub down, the thigh rub down, and all that action on the beach as well. So they're having a great time doing that also. So I think the dynamic, granted the branding is different and probably the prevalence of the conversations are different, the dynamics still apply to both as well. And one connective tissue that is a little dark is that there is violence happening when they are on these trips, specifically in Colombia, specifically in Jamaica. There you have, I believe, the advisory level for Jamaica went up. And granted, advisory levels are, whatever, when you live in America, where we've had more mass shootings. We've had double the mass shootings nearly than we have had days in the year for, I believe, 4 years straight. So, we just take that with a grain of salt when you see, like, don't go visit here. However, people are getting hurt when they are traveling for specifically romantic tourism, we'll call it, in Jamaica and in Colombia as well. So I would just implore people, regardless of what you're doing, do what you do. Be safe. Pay your tab if you have one, and get home. Like when you go, get home.